let this filthy beggar in to embarrass me at my wedding?
VP at a massive East Coast corporation.
I'm Naomi's father.
No wonder I had to teach her how to use a salad fork.
Bradley looked him up and down.
I came to walk my daughter down the aisle.
In that suit? You dig that out of a donation bin?
You're making a mistake, son.
Throw this clown out.
Frederick locked eyes. 200 guests. Dead silence.
Remember this moment.
0 spines. Security dragged a black father out of his own daughter's wedding. That groom just threw out the man who owned his entire career. 6 hours earlier, Frederick Turner woke up at 5 a.m., same as every day for the last 30 years. His apartment in Bridgeport was small, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom with a leaky faucet he kept meaning to fix. The kitchen smelled like coffee and ironing starch. He stood at the ironing board in his undershirt, pressing the navy suit 1 crease at a time. Slow, careful, like he was ironing a uniform for war. On the counter behind him sat 2 framed photos. The first one, a little girl on his shoulders, mouth wide open, laughing. Naomi, age 6, pigtails, missing 2 front teeth. The second, that same girl in a cap and gown, tears running down her face, diploma in her hand. He smiled every time he looked at those photos. Today, he held the second one a little longer. On the kitchen table, he laid out a gift. A pocket watch. Gold, scratched, heavy. It belonged to his father. Beside it, a handwritten letter on plain paper. No fancy stationery, just words from a father to his daughter. He wrapped them both in brown paper, tied it with string. Simple. He looked at himself in the bathroom mirror. The suit fit fine, nothing special. He tugged the collar straight and whispered to himself, "She's not marrying the suit. She's marrying what's inside the man." On his desk by the window, half hidden under old books, sat a leather portfolio, embossed with 3 gold letters, P-A-H. He glanced at it, didn't pick it up, not today. Today he was just a father. Now, the Ashford estate in Greenwich, Connecticut, that was a different universe. A private road lined with 100-year-old oaks. Valets in black vests parking Porsche after Mercedes after Range Rover. The main building looked like it belonged in an English countryside. Stone walls, ivy, iron gates. Inside it smelled like lilies and money. Crystal chandeliers hung over a ballroom that seated 200. White roses exploded from every table. The silverware alone cost more than Frederick's car. A champagne tower glittered near the entrance. The string quartet played something soft and expensive in the corner. Diana Wells, the wedding planner, marched around with a clipboard barking orders at caterers. Every napkin folded at the same angle, every candle the same height, everything perfect, everything controlled. The guest list read like a Wall Street directory. Hedge fund managers, country club presidents, corporate lawyers, old Connecticut money shaking hands with new Connecticut money. Nearly every face was white. Naomi's side? Smaller. Her mother Lorraine, her best friend Savannah Brooks, a handful of aunts and cousins. They were seated at tables near the back, far from the head table, far from the spotlight. Nobody questioned the seating. That's just how it was arranged. And then there was Bradley Davis, 34 years old, square jaw, country club tan, the kind of smile that made you trust him for exactly 5 minutes before you realized it never reached his eyes. On paper, he was a winner. VP of Operations at Pinnacle Atlantic Holdings, one of the largest infrastructure and investment firms on the East Coast. His father Grant came from old money. His mother Helen came from older money. Bradley grew up believing the world was built for people who looked like him. He was charming when it served him. He shook hands hard. He dropped names soft. Every detail of this wedding, the venue, the flowers, the guest list, was curated to project one thing: power. He'd told Naomi early on, "Keep the guest list from your side manageable." He'd told her, Your dad doesn't need to make a speech. He'd told her, "This day is about our future, not your past." Naomi loved him, or she thought she did. She agreed to most of it. She kept the peace. She didn't tell Bradley the full truth about her father, partly because Frederick asked her not to, partly because she wanted to see if Bradley could love her family as they were. One thing mattered most. Bradley had never met Frederick in person. He'd only seen one blurry photo on Naomi's phone from years ago. To Bradley, Frederick was just Naomi's dad who does some consulting thing. He had no idea who was about to walk through his front door. Let's rewind to the moment it all went wrong. Frederick's cab pulled up to the Ashford estate at exactly 4:15 p.m. Not a town car, not a limo, a yellow cab. The valet stared at it like a roach had crawled onto the driveway. Frederick stepped out, navy suit, brown paper gift under his arm. He tipped the driver $10 and walked toward the entrance. The first pair of eyes hit him before he reached the door. A woman in a pearl necklace nudged her husband. The husband looked away, looked back again, the kind of double-take people do when something doesn't match the scenery. Frederick kept walking. Inside the lobby, the air changed, cool, perfumed. The chandelier threw little rainbows across the marble floor. Guests moved in clusters, laughing, clinking glasses, performing wealth for each other. Frederick stepped through the front door. 3 steps in, he stopped. Bradley was already walking toward him. Not walking, charging, jaw tight, eyes locked. The smile he wore for his guests was gone. What replaced it was something raw, something ugly. "Who let this filthy beggar in to embarrass me at my wedding?" He said it loud enough for the string quartet to stop. The lobby went dead silent. Every champagne glass froze mid-sip. Frederick stood still. He held the brown paper gift against his chest like a shield. His voice came out calm, level. "I'm Naomi's father." Bradley stopped 2 feet away from him, close enough for Frederick to smell the bourbon on his breath. He looked Frederick up and down, the suit, the shoes, the gift wrapped in paper that probably cost 50 cents. "Her father?" He let out a laugh that bounced off the marble. "No wonder I had to teach her how to use a salad fork." A few guests near the bar chuckled. Not many, but enough. Frederick's jaw tightened, just barely. "I came to walk my daughter down the aisle." "In that suit?" Bradley flicked Frederick's lapel with 2 fingers. "You dig that out of a donation bin?" "You're making a mistake, son. My only mistake was letting Naomi invite the ghetto to my wedding." Bradley snapped his fingers at 2 security guards standing near the entrance. Big men, black suits, earpieces. "Throw this clown out, now." The guards hesitated. One of them, younger, maybe 25, looked at Frederick's face. Saw something there. Dignity. Pain. The kind of quiet that only comes from a man who's been disrespected before and survived it. "Sir," the young guard said softly, "maybe we should check the guest list first." "I didn't ask you to check anything," Bradley snapped. "I asked you to remove him. Do your job or I'll find someone who will." The older guard stepped forward, put a hand on Frederick's shoulder, not rough but firm. "I'm sorry, sir, I need you to come with us." Frederick looked at the guard's hand on his shoulder, then at Bradley, then at the 200 faces watching him like he was a show. He didn't resist. He didn't raise his voice. He turned toward the door and walked. His shoes echoed on the marble, every step loud in the silence. The chandelier light caught the brown paper gift still pressed against his chest. Behind him, Colton Moore, Bradley's best man, 3 bourbons deep, leaned against the bar and called out, "Yo, somebody tell the shelter they lost one!" Laughter. Not a lot, but it was there. Frederick pushed through the heavy oak doors. They closed behind him with a sound like a coffin lid. He was gone. The string quartet started playing again, like nothing happened. Upstairs, Naomi was standing in front of a mirror. Her wedding dress was ivory silk, strapless, a cathedral train pooling behind her like spilled cream. Her hair was pinned up with baby's breath woven through. She looked like a painting. Savannah Brooks, her maid of honor, was fixing a loose pin near the veil when her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. Her hands froze. She read the text, then read it again. Naomi?
Your dad just got thrown out.
Naomi turned from the mirror. What? Bradley had security remove him, just now, in front of everyone. The color drained from Naomi's face. Her fingers gripped the edge of the vanity. The knuckles went white. That's not... He wouldn't... Girl, he did. One of my cousins just texted me, said Bradley called him a beggar. In the lobby, in front of 200 people. Naomi's chest rose and fell. Once, twice, 3 times. Then she grabbed the front of her dress with both fists and ran. She came down the main staircase like a storm in ivory silk. Guests at the bottom scattered. Champagne sloshed. Someone dropped a plate. She found Bradley in the lobby. He was straightening his cufflinks, smiling, like he'd just taken out the trash and was proud of it. Bradley. He turned, saw her face. His smile dimmed, but didn't disappear. Babe, you look amazing. Why are you down here? The ceremony's in... You threw out my father? The lobby went quiet again. Second time in 10 minutes. Guests who had just started pretending everything was normal froze mid-conversation. Bradley stepped closer, lowered his voice. Babe, relax. He showed up looking like a janitor. I'm protecting our image here. You'll thank me later. Thank you? Naomi's voice cracked. He's my dad, Bradley. And this is my wedding. Bradley straightened up. Do the math, Naomi. $300,000. The Whitmore partners are here. My parents' entire circle is here. And your father shows up in a $40 suit looking like he came straight from a bus stop? No, I'm not having that. Naomi stared at him. Her lips trembled. Not from sadness, from something deeper. You don't even know who he is. Bradley rolled his eyes. I know enough. He's a guy who couldn't afford a decent outfit for his own daughter's wedding. That tells me everything. Naomi shook her head slowly. No, Bradley, it doesn't tell you anything. Not one thing. She turned and walked toward the front door. Bradley called after her. Naomi! Naomi! Don't make a scene! She didn't stop. Outside, the sun was dropping low. Golden light spilled across the stone courtyard. Frederick sat on a bench near the oak trees, the brown paper gift resting on his lap. He wasn't crying. He wasn't shaking. He was still. The kind of still that scared people who didn't understand it. Naomi burst through the doors. She saw him on the bench and her whole body crumbled. She ran to him, wedding dress dragging across the gravel, and threw her arms around his neck. Daddy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Frederick held her. One hand on the back of her head, the other around her shoulders. He closed his eyes. Baby girl, it's okay. It's not okay. I know. He pulled back, looked at her face, wiped a tear with his thumb. I know it's not. They sat there for a moment, father and daughter, on a stone bench, outside a wedding that cost more than most people's houses. Then Frederick pulled out his phone. He scrolled through his contacts. Naomi caught a glimpse. Names she recognized. Names anyone would recognize. CEOs, board members, a former senator. He didn't call any of them. He called one number, put the phone to his ear. Reggie, it's me. A pause. Yeah, he did exactly what you said he would. Another pause. No, I'm not going to make a scene, but I think it's time he finds out. He looked at Naomi. She looked at him. Something passed between them. Not words. Understanding. Come to the venue. Bring the file. He hung up, slid the phone back in his pocket, looked up at the Ashford estate. His face was calm, resolved, like a man who'd been holding a card for 30 years and finally decided to play it. Naomi whispered, Dad, what did you just do? Frederick smiled, the first real smile all day. I gave him exactly what he asked for. Back inside the Ashford estate, Bradley Davis was doing what Bradley Davis did best, controlling the room. He moved through the lobby with a fresh